So while I'm doing this review, I want to get to this page. And this page has all of your formulas. We never did geometric mean. R means ratio. And that's when the pattern's multiplying or dividing, but it's really just a fraction. And then S means the sum. So it's kind of a little mess up, but the summation notation and formulas are the same. This is when it's a constant, when it's linear, and when it's quadratic. And I'll talk to you about how those three are connected. Okay, but let's put this to the side right now and let's start the review. I'm going to zoom in and I'll show you on each page where it's applicable. It says first find the first 5 terms of the recursive sequence. Now recursive means the guy before. So this is, I don't need any formulas because they gave me the formula. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me make that go in a little bit. This was day 1. So this is, I actually gave you the first term in the sequence, and that's the 4. So I have to use that 4 to get the second term. So I'm going to take the 4, add 15, that's 19. Now I'm going to take the 19, and I'm going to use that and add 15, which is 34. Now I'm going to take a 34, and I'm going to add 15, and that's 49. And I'm going to take the 49 and add 15, and that's 64. So if I'm going to list the first 5 numbers of the recursive sequence, don't forget to list the first one. Some people forgot that on the quiz. And I don't know if you notice what the pattern is, plus 15, plus 15, plus 15. Okay. So this was really not even applicable. It just told you the place that it was in. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one is list the first 5 terms of the explicit sequence, which means I could find the 10th term as easy as I could find the 3rd term, and they don't depend on each other. So let me do that again. So 1, I'm sorry that it's so close. I didn't want to waste paper. So this is when I have to take the 1, plug it in. Take the 2, plug it in. The 3, plug it in. 4, plug it in. 5, plug it in. So I didn't leave very much space, but negative 1/3 to the 1 minus 1, negative 1/3 to the 2 minus 1. You'll have enough space on your test. I think I made the 4 pages, or maybe 6, I'm not sure. 1/3 to the 4 minus 1, negative 1/3 to the 5 minus 1. I could pick up my calculator, but I'm too lazy. 1 minus 1 is 0. Anything to the 0 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Negative 1/3 to the first power is negative 1/3. 3 minus 1 is 2. If I square negative 1, it's positive 1. And if I square 3, it's 9. I don't know if any of you noticed that the pattern is just the ratio, which is times negative 1/3. So I'm not going to need my calculator. I'll just take this, multiply it by that. Take this, multiply it by that. That's positive. And then I'm going to list the first 5 terms. 1, negative 1/3. 1/9, negative 1/27. So far, this page has not been applicable for me. But now they're asking for a rule. If they're asking for a rule, then I'm either going to be dealing with arithmetic or geometric. So when I look here, it's dividing by 2, but we don't write it as dividing by 2, so my ratio is 1/2. If I'm writing a rule for the nth term, let me write down the formula. Something I suggest you'll probably do on the top of your test in the beginning. Every single formula or that you remember when you remember it, I would start writing on the top of your test. So you just might want to list the arithmetic, the geometric, the sum arithmetic, the 2 geometric, sum formulas, the constant, the linear, and the quadratic. And that's all of them. I know it's a lot. So the first term is 8. The ratio is 1/2 to the n minus 1. And that's all I want. That's it. Okay. Now I want you to write the series in summation notation. As soon as it says notation, that means I'm going to create the sigma. I can use any letter N, Q, K, but I feel like N is the easiest because we use N in a lot of our formulas. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers in the sequence, so that goes there. Now all that's left is for me to find the formula. So I have to look to see here if it's arithmetic or geometric. I notice that the pattern is +8 + 8. So it's arithmetic. Here's the formula for the arithmetic sequence. First term, pattern, 8n. Now, some of you go, hey, if this is the first term and it's plus 8, then the 0 term happens to be 0. 8n plus 0 is just 8n. If you want to show me that way, great. If you want to show me this way, great. All right. Now I'm asking for you to expand. That means that this problem is what I want you to do here, and then you're going to add all the numbers. So I'm going to do that. They want the first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to take 1. And to me, honestly, this problem isn't necessarily hard. It's just keeping track of everything. So I'm going to go 1 plus 2 over 1 plus 1. Then I'm going to go 2 plus 2 over 2 plus 1. 3 plus 2 over 3 plus 1. 4 plus 2 over 4 plus 1. 5 plus 2 over 5 plus 1. 1 plus 2, so that's 3 halves. 4 thirds. Noticing a pattern here. 5 fourths. 6 fifths. 7 sixths. So now I'm going to pick up my calculator. Let me pause it real quick and get my calculator. That was definitely annoying plugging it all in, and I made some mistakes with my times, so make sure you plug it in right. And I get 129 over 20. So the sum of the first 5 numbers is 129 over 20. No formula needed. They gave me the formula. Okay. These 3 here are applicable for these 3 here. So when it's a constant, that means it's just a number. You're just going to figure it that, use this formula. Sorry, you can't see that. You use this formula. When it's linear, which means there's an n here, that would be like an n squared, or it should be k squared. You use that formula. When it's k squared, you use that formula. Okay? So when I look here, I see it's a k, so it's a linear function. So I'm going to use this formula right here. n plus 1. And this is how it's going to look on your test, where I'm just going to give you an A, a B, and a C. My n is 25 because it starts at 1. So I'm just going to go 25. 25 plus 1 over 2. 25 plus 1 is 26. Divided by 2 is 13. 25 times 13. I'm not going to probably do much mental math on a test when I can make a silly mistake. So the sum of the first 25 numbers is 325. Okay? So now I'm going to go to the next one. The next one is a quadratic. So since it's a quadratic, I'm going to use this crazy formula here, which is just an extension of this one right here. So that's n. Now I look. My n is 10. So 10, 10 plus 1, 2 times 10 plus 1, all over 6. I'll be honest, I'm too lazy to write all of that into the calculator, so 10 plus 1 is 11. 2 times 10 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So I'm going to go 10 times 11, which is 110, times 21. This is when I might just use this calculator. So I'm going to go 110 times 21 and divided by 6. And I get 385. Okay? So it doesn't matter how you get there, but just make sure you use one of the calculators. So the sum of the first 10 numbers is 385. Now, this one is the constant one. So what you do is you figure out how many, quote, 4s there are going to be from the 10th term to the 30th. So remember, it's last guy minus first guy plus 1. So that's 21. You're just going 21 times 4, which is 84. And I'm not going to write the sum of the first 30 numbers because it's not the first 30. So it's just boom, 84. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next one here. Determine whether it can be arithmetic or geometric. I see the pattern is minus 11. Show the pattern is something that happens again and again. So the answer is yes, it's arithmetic. Find the common difference. And then the next term would be 22. That's really all I want. Don't get it wrong. All right. Find the 9th term of the arithmetic sequence. And I'm also going to want the formula. Okay? So anytime I see arithmetic sequence, I'm not going to use any of these ones. These are all have S's. S means find the sum. So I'm going back here. A sub 1. A sub n equals A1, n minus 1 times d. First term equals n minus 1 times the pattern. Well, I notice it's plus 2 and it just stays the same. So my pattern is 2/7. And then I have 1/7 distribute. 1/7 minus 2/7 is negative 1/7. So then my formula is a sub n equals 2/7 n, and then 1/7 minus 2/7 is negative 1/7. That's my formula. That's like what I went on the quiz. If you want to, you could go plus 2/7, so you go minus 2/7, and that gives you the negative 1/7. All right. To get the 9th term, that's kind of an annoying one for sure. Not bad. I'm going to plug in 9 over here, so I'm going to go a sub 9 equals 2/7 times 9 minus 1/7. I can use a calculator, or no, this is top, 18/7 minus 1/7, 17/7. So I found the 9th term in the sequence, and I found the formula for the arithmetic sequence. Okay. All right. Let's do this one. Find the 10th term of the arithmetic sequence. I'm not sure why I have more than one example. So let's just do one example, because we don't need to do it twice. All right. The problem with this one is I don't have a first term. And when I have the arithmetic sequence, oops, I realized I missed one. I'll come back to this one. Sorry about that. I'm going to use this. Okay. If I want the first term, I'm going to have to lie and say that's the first term. But if I say that's the first term and lie, I've got to say I have to lie as well here. So if I go 18 back, I have to go 18 back here. And if I went 18 back here and 18 back here, I have to go 18 back here. So if I'm going to lie, I have to be consistent with my lie. So this is my first term. We don't know our pattern. If we knew our pattern, life would be so much easier. Okay. I'm going to take that 5, that's my n, and then I'm going to take that negative 54, and it goes in for a sub n. This was exactly what was on your quiz. Okay, I'm going to add 38, and I get negative 16 equals 4d, so my pattern is negative 4. The pattern is what holds the power. Then I can find my fake negative 8th term, which is really my 10th term. So I'm actually going to lower it here, and I'm going to rewrite, because I think it's easier to see it vertically. Rewrite the formula so I don't have to look up. I'm finding my fake negative 8th term. So I'm going to go a sub negative 8 with my fake first term. Negative 8 minus 1 times negative 4. Negative 8 minus 1 is negative 9 times negative 4 is 36. So my fake 8th term is negative 2, which really means my 10th term, which is what the original question is negative 2. All right. Last one, find the missing terms of this arithmetic sequence. I'm going to fold this down, and I'm just going to use scratch paper for this one because I didn't really leave enough space. So let me lower that. Sorry about that. This is my a sub 1, 2, 3, 4, a sub 5. It's very similar to the problem I'm crossing off from down there. Arithmetic formula. First term, real first term. 5th term, I don't know the pattern. If I knew the pattern, life would be a lot easier. Subtract 26. 52 equals 4d divided by 4. D equals 13. Well, now that I have my pattern, life is a lot easier. So I'm going to rewrite this because I didn't leave much space. I add 13, 39. I add 13, 52. I add 13, 65. And if I add 13, I do get 78. So those are the missing terms of my arithmetic sequence.